I've never seen a pretty Trump supporter, and if you're offended, you should be, because you're ugly.
You must be crazy, must be out of your mind, out of your mind.
Let me show you what you're missing.
Balls.
So, question of the day. Has anybody actually had a logical conversation with anybody from the left, or is it always insults and name calling? The reason I ask is because I don't think anybody from the left understands that to have a debate, you have to have facts. And that right there is a fact.
So it's become a trend to hate on pick-me's. And if we're gonna do that, I think it's time that we recognize the most notorious group of them all. And that would be the white liberal. These people pander to every single minority group. They even express so much self-hatred for themselves to groups of people who already hate them. The saddest part about this pick-me story is that no matter how hard these white liberals pander, and they sure try, they're never gonna get picked because all these people hate them. It's a real tragedy.
Cause your boyfriend's a bitch.
Personally, I just find it to be so ridiculous when girls try to say that men should have no opinion whatsoever when it comes to the legislation for abortion. Yes, men cannot biologically get pregnant, but believe it or not, a lot of dudes happen to have empathy for unborn babies too. And do you really mean to tell me that because of someone's biological sex, they should not have the right to vote?
Biden is a bitch.
Lord, have mercy.
She make me clap, clap, clap. She make me clap, clap, clap.
Taking a chance because I like you a lot, so give it a shot. Give it all that I got.
Suddenly you call my name and I lose my brain and I float up to the moon.
Oh crap! I probably thought I was a liberal.
So I was talking to my mom the other day. She said something that made me really think about the state of affairs of North America. She said, wait for it, I'm ranting to her about how you literally can't think or say anything these days without getting cancelled or in trouble. She's like, oh, that was normal in the Soviet Union. You know, you just have to learn to be quiet and avoid certain things, and then things will be more smooth, even though it's extremely annoying. I'm sorry. Are people paying attention to the fact that someone who used to live in the Soviet Union is comparing this society to the Soviet Union? Just let that sink in. Somebody who used to live in the Soviet Union is now comparing this society to the Soviet Union. Well, we've really done it now, folks. We've cancelled our way and woked our way up into freaking full-on speech control, man.
So I don't have a lot of time to go ahead and make a long explicit video on this topic, because unlike some of you motherfuckers who are just sitting at home waiting for the government handouts, some of us has to get back to work. But I I want to show you real quick what Castro did to my country and what your beloved universal healthcare looks like. These are current images of what socialism and universal healthcare truly looks like. Take a very close look. Look at how the elderly is being treated. The hospitals are saturated and there's barely no rooms because the rooms are in poor conditions that they cannot even put patients inside the facility. What do we have here? Well, they're transporting an elder woman in a wheelbarrow to the hospital because there's no ambulance or available transportation. And this lady is being brought to the hospital in a wheelbarrow. These are buses that have been turned into medical mobile office to be able to take in patients that need oxygen treatment. I have a lot more information to share about what the true face of socialism, dictatorship, universal health care looks like. These liberals and Democrats do not have an understanding what they're getting themselves into. Being that I lived through all of that for 19 years. So I know what I'm talking about because I lived through it. I'm not just second-hand Cuban that was born in America and don't know what she's talking about. No, I lived through it. I lived through poverty. I lived through communism.
My neighbors are liberal Democrats, and I was talking to their 6-year-old yesterday. She told me she wants to be president of the United States. So I said, well, if you were president of the United States, what would the first thing you would do be? She thinks for a moment. She's 6, and she says, well, I would give the homeless people food and homes. And I said, that's an amazing goal, but you don't have to wait until you're president to do that. I said, tell you what, come over to my house. You can pull weeds, mow the grass, and rake my yard. I'll give you $50. And then I'll take you to where the homeless people are, and you can give them that $50, and they can put it towards a new home and food. She thinks for a moment, because she's 6. And she says, well, why wouldn't the homeless person just come over and do the work himself, and you can pay him? And I just looked at her and I said, welcome to the Republican Party. Her parents just glared at me and they're still not speaking to me.
Zuckerberg and Gates and Buffett, amateurs can f***ing suck.
Hey guys, got to thinking. Anytime you read something that says state funded or federal funded, in your mind and aloud, change that to taxpayer funded. We know that it's taxpayer funding, but we need to start saying it and reminding ourselves that, because what it will do to you, because I've been doing it over the past 48 hours, it will start to build an urgency for change, because you realize all of these state-funded programs and federally funded programs are your tax dollars that you are earning by working. So start thinking about that. I was just reading an article that a man in Florida who's a well-known homeless man that performs on the streets, and it shows a sad picture of him, that he's going to be back out on the streets soon because he's been living in a free hotel for the past 6 months, funded by the federal government because of COVID. Okay, if he can dance and perform on the streets, he can get a frickin' job. Might not be the best job, but he can get a job. So just start reminding yourselves that, and reminding your friends and family that too. Remove state, remove federal, and put in taxpayer dollars.
There isn't just a wicked witch in The Wizard of Oz. There's a wicked witch of the United States. I'll show you.